So iterative statements, otherwise called as looping statements, basically they are used to repeat the execution of one or more statements of the program. So every time we need to repeat the execution of a particular statement or group of statements, then we can take the help of your looping statements, or we call them as iterative statements. So Python has given two categories of looping statements. One is called for loop, the other one is your while loop. Now coming to the for loop. So for loop has a specific uses. Now when do we make use of it? Now, when we want to execute some action, say I want to perform a particular action on each and every element that is present in some sequence. So here when I say sequence is nothing but it is a kind of string, or it can be a collection where multiple items are grouped together. Now, on every element, if I want to perform a certain action, then I should go on using this for loop. Now, the syntax, you can see we start with this for followed by some variable in followed by the sequence. So like I said, here the sequence can be any string or it can be any collection, like it could be a list, tuple, dictionary, etc. Now, this body is nothing but the kind of action that we are going to take on each of the element that is present in this particular sequence. Now let's look into one simple example. Let's say we have taken one string which is holding this set of characters. Let's say some code quest. I want to access each of the element. So what did I do here? We have taken this for loop and we took a variable, that is say x here, in str. What is str? It is holding this particular string. Now, because this x is going to look after each and every character of this particular string, so what we are trying to do here is we are printing the value of x. So the x is going to take up C for the first time, and the same x is going to move ahead for the second time by looking into O, and then D, then E, followed by all the rest of the characters. So as a result of which we are able to get each of the character that is present in the string. So as you know, this end equal to space is nothing but I wanted all these characters, individual characters, to be printed at the same line. Okay, if I do not use this end, I will be getting this code was C, O, D, E, like each one in an individual line. Okay. Now let's say a very simplest of examples. Suppose I want to print this hello 5 times. So like in the previous lecture we have said, range function is a very popular one which we usually make use of it inside the loops. Now in case of your for loop, when I'm going through this for x in range of 5. So we know range of 5 is nothing but it's going to produce the values which starts from 0 and goes up to 4. So this x is going to take up 0, then 1, then 2, and likewise up to 4, which means 5 times this body will be executed, as a result of which hello is to be printed exactly 5 times here. So let's consider one more example where we are trying to take one of the sequence which we called as a list. As of now, you can understand this list is nothing but some kind of array, though there are a lot of other differences we will explore little later in our video lectures. Now assume numbers is the one which is representing this list where we have certain items. So we have 5 items here. So what I want to do is I just wanted to find out the sum of all these elements present in the list. So what we have done, we have taken one variable, say total, set to 0 initially, where I am going to keep the final result. Now here we have taken the for loop. We took a variable, let's say num, in numbers. What is numbers here? The list. So this num is going to take up each of the values that is present inside this list, which means for the first time num is going to take up 10. Now the same 10, that is num value, is now added to the existing value of total, which was earlier 0. So the total has updated to 10. Now Next time the same num is going to take up the second element, that is nothing but 40. So once again 40 is added to the existing value of 10, that is 10 plus 40, it makes it up like 50. So like that, this num is going to move on to the next element 30, followed by 20 and 70, and each of these elements will be added to the existing value of total. So by the end of this entire for loop, I could get the total is your 170, which I am printing in the next line. So let's see one more example where I want to display all the odd numbers present between 0 and 20. So once again, I am taking the help of range function. Here I am mentioning range of 21, which means it is going to go up to 20. Starting from 0, it will go up to 20. Now, we have taken this for loop where x in range of 21, which means x is going to take up 0, then 1, then 2, like up to 20. So each time I am testing whether the x value is not divisible by 2 or not. So for the first time when the x value is 0, so 0 percentile 2 is your 0. So 0 not equal to 0 is false. Hence this print statement will not execute. And for the next iteration, the x value has been 1. Now 1 percentile 2 is 1. So 1 not equal to 0 is true. Hence this condition satisfied. Hence we are able to get the x value printed, that is your 1. So like that, when it's keep on moving to the remaining set of values present in the range function, so it is going to find, let me print all the odd numbers that are present here. So let's say we have taken a string str equal to code quest. Now we are going to write the for loop, say for x in the string, that is str. So here I want to print each of the character that is referred by x. So like we have used end equal to some space because it has to end in the same line. So now when I'm going to run this, I can get like, so code quest, all the characters present in the particular string have been represented. So in this, let's say we have taken the help of a range function, which is going to produce range of 5 means starting from 0 to 4 5 times. So this print hello is to be executed 5 times. Okay. So let's check this. So you can see we are getting the hello printed 5 times. So we have taken another example where x is in the range of 21, which means it begins with 0, goes up to 20. Now each of the number I am trying to divide it by 2, finding the modulus. If it is not equal to 0, then it has to be printed. So as this condition is for checking whether each of the number is a odd number or not. Okay. So if it is an odd number, let's say for 0, it is going to be false. But when it is 1, it is going to be true. Hence I am going to get 1. So in this manner, we are going to get 1, 3, 5, 7 up to 19, because once we reach 20, this range function is not going to produce any further values. So when we run this, we will be getting all the values starting from 1 to 19. So in this example, we have taken a list holding certain numbers, and like we said, we took some variable total where I'm going to keep the complete sum of all these numbers. So now we are taking the help of this for loop where this num is going to reach out each of the element present in this. So for the first time, the num is going to take 10. Next time num is going to take 40. Like that, it is going to take each of the elements present in this list, and each of the values are added to the total and the total gets updated. So by the time this for loop is going to end, all the elements present in this list are added to the total. So hence, finally, when I'm representing the value of total, it is going to give me sum of all these elements. So let's check this. You can see we are getting 170 here.